Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be trying out the newest game mode that's been added to Asphalt 8 called the Gauntlet. And I thought I would try something a little bit different with this video, just not really doing any cuts or anything, and just letting you see the full raw races and everything in between. I'm not planning to do the style much, but let me know if you like it. So what is the Gauntlet? Well, it's not quite multiplayer. You see, you're not really racing against anybody in real time in the race. Rather, most of the time you're racing against other people's ghosts. However, when you first enter the Gauntlet, you are prompted to throw down the Gauntlet or set a time of your own, which you do with 5 different cars. You get to choose whatever 5 cars you want from your garage. However, and this is a very important note, your league is based upon the total rank combined of your top 5 highest ranked cars in the game, regardless of what you are using in the race. So if your highest ranked cars add up to above 9,000, say you have 5 cars above 1800 rank, you're going to be in Elite League whether you want to be or not. But most people will use their highest ranked or fastest or best cars or whatever in these races, so you're pretty much going to have to do that as well. Just because you can get away with using lower cars and being in a higher league doesn't mean you should, because you will most likely lose. The Gauntlet is not fundamentally anything new. It is pretty much just tag racing, but done with 5 cars instead of 3. But I have always enjoyed tag racing, so it's cool to see that they've brought it more into a bigger sense in the game. So I have finished the first race, and now this time is what people will face when they challenge me. After you set your time, you are then prompted to either defend or challenge. If you choose defense, you can improve your time on that track if you wish to, but challenges are the things that give you rewards. You can do up to 5 challenges per day, and you can switch out the cars between them, do whatever you want with that. So I wasn't really sure entirely what I was doing or which cars would be best. I just tried to choose some of the ones that I knew were fastest. If I continue to play it more, I'll probably try to optimize my cars more, but for now, in this race, the first couple of ones, I was using the Trion Nemesis, the Aeronair Hacera 33, the Aventador SV, the Vulcan, and the Apollo. I don't think exactly in that order, but those were the cars that I started off with. I'm tempted to put my MP425 at the beginning of the race, kind of like I used for multiplayer, because it was really good there, and I'm wondering if it would do well enough in this mode to get ahead at the beginning while having slightly lower speed. Not entirely sure. I'll have to try that out. So this is the first of my challenge races that I did in this Gauntlet. As you can see, the car switches every 15 seconds or so. Now, the reason that you can only play 5 times per day and get 5 challenge rewards is because you have 5 free tickets that refill every 24 hours. You can play up to 35 races in a season because they last for 7 days, so that's if you play it every day. Now, you can win golden Gauntlet tickets in time-limited events or elsewhere where you can get prizes, and they basically are the same thing. They're just more races that you can do after you finish your normal tickets. Based on what league you're in, after you complete every challenge, you will get a certain number of fusion coins as well as some other rewards, and if you win, you go up some rating, 30 in this case, and the other person goes down. Now again, because this is not real time, like you're not actually racing somebody in the races, if somebody beats you in your challenge that you set at the beginning, your rating will go down. And I was a little bit confused as to why that was happening at first, but that's why. And sometimes something will pop up that tells you, people have beat your time. Would you like to take revenge, I think it says, which is just race them and try to beat them, which does actually happen later in this video. So this has been a general rundown of what the Gauntlet mode is all about. I'm sure there are some more little details, but that is the basic gist of it. Here, unfortunately, I wreck, and I thought that was going to be the end of it. But the other guy wrecks, like, almost at the exact same place. It might have been literally the exact same place, or maybe slightly further up. I don't exactly know. But all that mattered was I was ahead, I came out ahead, and now I just had to hold the lead throughout the race. Some people have wondered, why am I coming back to Asphalt 8? At least somewhat. I still haven't decided exactly to what extent I'm going to come back, whether I'm just going to play basically casually or really try to get some of the new cards and stuff. I don't really know just how feasible that is at this point. But the main reason for it is just because Asphalt 9 with the Drive Syndicate especially has kind of been wearing me out a little bit recently, and I'm sure some people have felt that too, with just it being so grindy and so expensive in the event. And after going through my calculations, just seeing more and more just how much you'd really have to spend on that event to get it, it's just become really preposterous. And then in Asphalt 8, when you can get the Bugatti Divo really easily and pay 2,000 tokens for the premium pass and upgrade the car a good amount, and it being one of the new kings, I think it's one of the highest end S-Class cars at least, it just seems imbalanced and kind of like the opposite of how it was when Asphalt 9 first came out. And here I see that I've been challenged, so these two people have beat my time that I set at the beginning, so I can choose to challenge them on whatever their track was, and so that's what I'm going to do now. Also, just a side note, definitely try to run boosters during this if you can, at least the Nitro Starter and Tuning Kit, because without those, your chances of winning probably go down a good bit. And always remember to store them after you get them, otherwise they will turn into fusion coins. I found that out the hard way. So thinking back to when Asphalt 9 first came out, you know, that was kind of the time when Asphalt 8 was really beginning to change a lot, and most people in the community just didn't like those changes. It was becoming more pay to win. It was becoming very unfamiliar in a lot of sense, and it just didn't seem like Gameloft was really listening, and so that's why I put the game down at that time, and I basically have taken almost a 2-year hiatus from it. And I think that was good, so I could just let go of my frustration with the game for a while and come back to it with a fresh pair of eyes, in a sense. I can't expect it to be the same game that I played 3 or 4 years ago, because it changed. There's nothing I can do about that, so if I want to enjoy it, you know, I can't think of it as being the same thing, because then I definitely won't enjoy it, and I'll always be thinking back to the good old days and everything, which I still think were better, of course, but I do think there's still enjoyment to be found here. I mean, the new tracks are really cool, this Gauntlet mode is fun, multiplayer, while it's different and not as good as before, I've still had some fun with. I mean, I was playing the MP425 and I had some genuinely good and close races. And we beat this guy who beat us before, yay! This has been the 3rd challenge, so I've got 2 more to go, and that will finish off my tickets for the day. I claim my reward and go on to the next challenge. Now at this point, because a couple of people had already beaten the challenge that I set just like 5-10 minutes ago, I could have gone back, done defense, and tried to improve my time. And if you see that a lot of people are beating your time and you're going down in rating because of that, that's probably a good idea to do, and probably something that I will do. Because I've noticed that, at least for me, it's really easy to forget about it. Like, you do your race at the beginning and then you just do your challenges and are done, and you don't really come back to what you did before. But I think that's definitely a way that you can improve your rating by not having as many people beat you, hopefully. We're now racing on the Terra 9 track, which I am slowly getting a hang of. However, these turns are a little bit difficult if you don't hit them just right, and unfortunately I wrecked. I probably wouldn't have been able to win this one anyway, because the other guy was getting pretty far ahead. But as we have seen in previous races, the other guy can certainly wreck, and if he doesn't redo it, that wreck will stay in the race. So I would definitely recommend that if you wreck while you're trying to say your challenge time, you should definitely redo it, otherwise you're probably going to have a lot of people beating that time. Unless the track is just an inherently difficult one that a lot of people are likely to wreck on. Like Neon Pursuit here, I feel like this is one that would be more likely to throw people a curveball just because it's new. Now, it's newer for me just because I haven't been able to play it in a while. I know that I'm probably at a little bit of a disadvantage because of that, but after playing multiplayer for so long and getting this track a lot of times, I've gotten a little bit better at it. There, unfortunately, I did go down in rating 15. The other guy went up 15, but I am still doing fairly well overall, I would say. Claim my reward, and then move on to my final challenge. And somebody did challenge me, and I won. You could see that screen went up, and I went up a certain amount of rating. That's what happens when somebody challenges you and then loses to you. So a lot of times, your rating can go up and down without you really doing anything, just by people beating you or losing against you based on them challenging you. So we're moving on to the final challenge race, and I guess I'll give my general review about this game mode. I've had a lot of fun with it. I enjoy the tag race thing, and I think it will be a fun thing to try to optimize with the cars that I have. Now, I do think the way the leagues work is a little bit weird, being based on the cars that you have and not really what you are using in the race. That just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because if you have really good cars in your garage, you pretty much always have to use them. Like, you can't really use lower end ones if you wanted to, because say you went in with some of the best C-Class cars. Well, you're still going to be in Elite League because it's based on the top cars that you just own, period. And everybody else in Elite League is going to be using their high-end S-Class cars. So I kind of wish there was a progression more like there is with multiplayer, because I feel like that would give more variety to the experience, so that you could use a bunch of different cars and you wouldn't always have to use your absolute best ones, because sometimes you might want to play around with other ones you enjoy. Other than that though, I think it's been a great new addition to the game. It's been fun, it's been fresh, and I think it's done a very good job with the previously underutilized tag racing. And as we get our final rewards of the day, thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!